Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Mr. Burden. It is week 6 right now. That is when I'm creating this video. And the reason why I'm creating this video is because it's been a few weeks since we've been working with the literacy learning log, and I just wanted to talk a little bit more about my expectations with how you should be using it moving forward, and then just a little bit more about the purpose behind it. So the first thing, just as a little reminder, this is what you're going to complete when we do our assigned readings for each week. So you can either complete this while you're reading or you can do it afterward. Either one works. I would just recommend if you do it after, do it right after so it's more fresh in your mind and things along those lines. All right, so one thing that I expect when you are responding to one of these 3 prompts on the left is that when you respond, you're putting things in your own words. When you're putting things in your own words, then I can really start to see what you're understanding as a student. You should also be using supporting details and examples when you go ahead and do it. So for instance, I'll give, this is Ava's literacy learning log. She's been doing an excellent job with this. So I wanted to use hers as an example. So much of the information for this week really related to the past week's read. A kind of combination of the knowledge and the past put into one. Learning about income statements, you needed to know what we learned last week about net income. This was total revenue subtracted by total expenses, which gives you the net income, and apparently the income statements given to the business. Now she talks about her next point. From the learning previously, we learned about what equity was and what it affected. This knowledge was related for this assignment, which was creating a statement which holds the information about owner's equity at the end of the period. The document is done after the income statement because the information used in the income statement affects the owner's equity. So right here, she actually adds another point, but I think you get the point here. Right here with her using her own words and giving supporting details behind it, I can really see, that she's making the connections that, I want you to make. If you're just kind of restating things from the book, like if she would have just wrote, I learned that that net income equals total revenues minus total expenses. I can see, great, you got that formula from the book, but I can't really see, do you understand it? Do you understand when to use it, how it's used, why it's valuable? But when you give me a little bit more of that detail, then I can really better assess your learning. So I really want to see that from you moving forward. Another thing that she did really well was, I'm going to scroll up a little bit to her questions here. So she did a nice job writing out these questions. And the cool thing about this was she brought these questions to the e-session, which is like, I love that. That is ideal. And even as a little bonus, which was really cool when I was grading this, because a lot of times I'll respond to your questions when I give you feedback on your assessments, as I knew I didn't have to answer it because she already understood it, and because she went and made that note there. But I think that's really great practice as a student. Is, okay, you did this reading. I'm not expecting you to understand everything perfectly right when you are done with the reading. So write down a couple questions you have. Bring it to the e-session. This is something that I can help clarify. My e-sessions, remember, are never meant to replace the textbook. It's, my e-sessions are really designed to build off what you have read in the textbook, and, hopefully, present things in a little bit of a different way to go ahead and help you understand. Now, I know that some of you are, you take most of your classes at a different high school, so you may not be able to attend our live e-sessions. Well, what you could do instead is you could just go ahead and email me your question before we have that e-session. I will definitely answer that question in the e-session. I love when students do stuff like that, because I know if one student has a question, that there's other students with questions too, but maybe we're just a little bit shy to ask, or didn't ask for whatever reason. So I definitely encourage that. I just wanted to also talk about, okay, why am I having you do all this? Well, the reason really is because I'm challenging you to think critically about what you're reading, and because I know that my job is to help you learn accounting, and I know then that when you have to think critically about what you're reading, it's more likely to stick in your long-term memory. So that is definitely one of the purposes. It's not just about me, better assessing your learning. It's also about I want this to, go into your long-term memory. But it is something that I do to assess your learning. Like I kind of mentioned previously, is this is something you put a lot of time and effort into your assignments. So it's really important to me to give you helpful, honest, and specific feedback. And when I can read what you understand or maybe what you're misinterpreting or something, this allows me to give you better feedback. And I think that's a really important part of the learning process. Plus, I take these things and I start to I start to see certain themes when I'm reading through this. Okay, this is a concept that students aren't quite getting. Well, this also drives my e-sessions too. So this is something that I use to build my e-sessions and hopefully help you learn. Last thing that I wanted to do before we go is I wanted to just show you one little small thing that you could do that would be helpful for me. It's not really that big of a deal because I can typically figure out which prompt you're responding to. But it would be awesome if you go and you highlight the prompt that you responded to, and you go over to the highlight tool. And of course, I'm clicking in the wrong spot for this video, but here you go. Here's the highlight tool. Go ahead, throw that in yellow. That's really helpful. Then I know right away which one you're responding to. So thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't taken the week 6 chapter 1 summatives yet, good luck. Thanks.